This is the new Audi S8, and it's the perfect car for chauffeurs who prefer to wear this type of cap. You see, it combines supercar performance with normal limousine luxury. That does come at a price though. This car starts from £100,000. Most people will look at this car and think, yeah, it's a luxury limousine, probably driven by a chauffeur, be a diesel, kind of slowish, sedate. What they don't realise is that underneath the bonnet is a 4-litre twin-turbo V8 with 571 horsepower and 800 newton meters of torque. It drives all four wheels via an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and it has a sort of launch control. I'm going to see how quick it is. So I've got my specialist timing gear just up here. There we go. I'm going to launch the car. Hold on the brake, release the brake. Whoa, wasn't that gripped? And we're off. I'm going to show you something in a minute. We're getting some times out. Whoa, that's super quick. And that's the quarter mile. That is a super fast quarter mile time. 11.5 seconds. Oh my God. 0 to 60, flashed up on the screen. It was so quick I couldn't see it. 0 to 100, yet again, flashed up on the screen. Couldn't see it. By my butt acceleration test, this car is blooming quick. It's all well and good this car being quick, but if it doesn't brake hard, then you could get yourself and your passengers into a lot of trouble. Fortunately, it's got upgraded brakes over the normal A8. So let's see how well it stops. Here we go, braking from 70. Whoa, 70 to 0, did it in 46 meters, which is actually pretty darn good for something that weighs 2.3 tons like this does. Now let's talk about the S8's design, and there are a few features which give the game away that it's a performance version. So the first is this, look, the quad tailpipes. Let's just check them out though. Are they real? I'm going to use the carwow stick of truth. Oh my God, they are actually real. I can't remember the last time the carwow stick of truth didn't find fake exhaust pipes on an Audi. Don't need that anymore. Another clue is the S8 badge. Moving down the sides, you get 20-inch alloy wheels as standard, though you can upgrade to 21s. The S8 model also has this, look, satin chrome door mirrors. Then at the front, you get matrix LED headlights as standard. You also get this chrome strip and a bit more aggressive on the front bumper, and these chrome strips in the grille, and the S8 badging there. Then if you upgrade to the Vorsprung model, you get laser lights and all the chromy bits blacked out for even more stealth. But really, the changes are very subtle, aren't they? As I walk into a bush. The changes, it is subtle. Most people aren't going to know what performance this car can deliver. Let's check it out inside and see if it's the same story. Oh, yeah, indeed it is. There is something that does stick out, and it's the S Sport seats, which in this particular car in a sort of like dried blood colour. Don't worry, you don't have to have this colour, you can have them in black or some other choices. You do get an S Sport steering wheel, quite like that. It's got some S badging on it as well and some stitching. There's also some S kick plates down there, and if you look carefully you'll notice that the starter button has a red surround. You don't get that on the normal A8. It's just a normal shiny starter button. Other than that, it's just like a normal A8, which is good. It's a really nicely built, smart looking car. There's also very little difference here in the back of the S8, apart from, of course, yet again, the sport seats. Oh, you do get a Bang & Olufsen sound system as standard, which is good, and light Alcantara headlining. If you don't like that, don't worry, you can have it in black. However, there are loads of changes to the S8's boot over the normal A8. Look. Yeah, I'm totally lying. No changes. Why would a boot ever be more sporty? Now, the size of it, it's big, it's huge. Look at it. There's loads of space, really. Thing is, though, it's only got 505 litres, whereas a Mercedes S63 AMG has 510 litres. So if you need to carry those extra 5 litres, you couldn't possibly have this car. And that brings me on to 5 annoying things about the Audi S8. This car may well be fitted with a lovely V8, but you can't really let your friends hear the noise when you're stationary, because Audi won't let you rev it past about 4,000 RPM when it's standing still. Listen. They've got a soft limiter in there. Stop your fun. Well, there's plenty of room in the back of this car. Unfortunately, in the UK, you can't get a long wheelbase version of the S8 like you can with the BMW M760Li. Another thing we don't get in the UK is the optional carbon ceramic disc brakes. They actually reduce the car's unsprung mass by 19 kilos, so it's annoying we don't get them. This car is way thirstier than a normal A8. Audi says it'll only do 24 miles per gallon. But I actually drove it really sedately and only achieved 21 miles per gallon. The issue for owners of these cars isn't necessarily the cost, it's more the fact that they're going to have to stop and fill up quite a lot. While for some people, this car's stealthiness is part of its appeal, some people want their sports car slaying luxury limousine to stand out, and this really just doesn't. It's not all negative though. Here's 5 good things about this car. When you go to get in the car, it automatically lifts up by 5 centimetres to raise the seat height so you don't have to flop down so far to get in. The S8 gets a special Comfort Plus mode, and that leans the car into a corner a bit like you're on a very luxurious fairground ride. The car has a special camera system which can read the road ahead, and it can spot bumps, potholes and speed humps. And the car will actually lift up its wheels as you're going over them so you don't feel them at all. It's almost as though it's just lifting up its dress and just stepping over them. Now the system is really cool. I've tried it in a normal A8 and the difference between it working and it not working is night and day. The car can tell if you're about to be involved in a side impact, and it will lift itself up so that the approaching vehicle slams into this part of the car because that is the strongest bit and it protects you from being smashed through the door. Here's an example of it working. Pretty impressive, isn't it? The S8 comes with rear wheel steering as standard. When you're going at lower speeds, the back wheels turn in the opposite direction to the front wheels, and that makes the car more manoeuvrable. Then when you're going quicker, they turn in the same direction as the front to help the car turn quickly into the bends. When you just drive the S8 normally, it feels like a normal A8. It's just so relaxing, very comfy. Oh, that air suspension, the way it deals with bumps, you don't even know they're there. It's almost like the car resurfaces the road in front of you. Now it is big, so manoeuvring it around town is a bit of a pain, but that rear wheel steering helps because it makes it more manoeuvrable than it would be otherwise. Steering's light, gearbox smooth, it's all super quiet in here. Nothing to complain about really, it's easy for a big car. Then when you get out on the motorway, it's fine too, so if you're just cruising along at 40 and you need it to take off, floor it, and even though you're in comfort mode, it'll kick down. Not really hard because it doesn't want to shock you, but I mean that's 90. Fortunately, I'm on a closed road, so I didn't break any laws. But if you own this car and you are on an open road, there's a big chance you may well break some laws because it is nuts how fast this thing is. And when you're going at speed on the motorway, it's still supremely serene. I'd love to try it on the Autobahn, just see what it's like sat at 150 miles an hour. Be great. There is one question though, what's it like on a twisty road? Well, before I find out, I'm going to put the car into dynamic mode. Stiffens everything up, gets it ready for some serious action. Sounds a bit rude, doesn't it? As well as the engine, another way this car surprises me is how it goes down a twisty road. It may weigh 2.3 tons and be quite long, but somehow it just gets the job done. It's surprisingly quick, the way it just grips and goes. It's very much a fire and forget kind of car. The electronics are doing quite a lot. The Quattro system is providing the grip. That rear wheel steering, which is a bit odd at first, gets the car turning very quickly into a corner, and the diff helps as well. This means that if you're in an S8, you can give a hot hatch a run for its money on a back road. You really can, and that is just so surprising. Thing is though, you don't get the same involvement or sense of fun that you get in a hot hatch or a sports car because the car's doing a lot of the work for you. You're sort of delegating the driving to it still. It's like you're being chauffeured, only you're sat in the driver's seat. Still impressive though. So then, what's my final verdict on the new Audi S8? Should you avoid it? Should you consider it? Should you shortlist it? Or should you just go right ahead and buy it? Well, I reckon you should shortlist the S8. It's a really impressive car. It's just not as much fun or as bombastic as a Mercedes S63 AMG. Yeah, there it is.